Hello everyone, and welcome to a tutorial on Pick-Up-Stix. This is a module that I created a long time ago, and I left it for a very long time, and I'm now back, and I've updated it for version 13 and 14 of Foundry VTT, and for the D&D 5e and Pathfinder 2 systems. Pick-Up-Stix allows you to create items, tokens, on the map that are interactive. They allow your players to inspect them, pick them up, move them around between container tokens or even other players. There's a lot to this one, so I'm just going to jump right in. There are a few different ways that you can create these tokens. This module uses actors as the templates for tokens because that gives us all of the normal interaction with tokens, including the right-click HUD and things like that. There's multiple ways that you can create an item. You can use the Create Actor button and choose the new interactive object type. You can on this interactive objects folder, which is automatically created by the module. There's a little button here, Create Actor, and here you can choose which type of actor you want to create. We'll go over both later on. One of the simplest ways, though, is simply to take a world item from your items directory and simply drop it onto the map. When you attempt to do so, you're going to get a dialog to create templated or ephemeral. Really, the difference is ephemeral is kind of a one-off actor that we don't by default show you in the actor directory. So if I were to create this ephemeral one, you can see that there's no item created here. You can, however, view ephemeral actors by clicking the reveal icon here. Whenever an ephemeral token is removed, when all tokens based on that actor are removed, then the actor itself should also be deleted, so it should clean up automatically. Just to show the difference, if we were to do the same and create templated, then that gives us an actual actor for that token type. And that way you can just, create multiple tokens of that actor. And when you delete those, it won't be deleted. So just to show, if we do delete that ephemeral one, then here you can see there are no more ephemeral actors. Okay. The reason that we would want a templated one is so that you can edit that actor and have it be templated so you can change what it is, and then when you drop the new token from it, it'll have all those new properties. When you create an item from the Actors menu, if you create a normal item versus a container item, you'll get this config. These items need to be based on actual items. So in this case, if we wanted a weapon item, then we would just take our weapon item and drag it onto that config. And then we get the interactive actor config. This is where you can set up the image for the item. You can set up the name, what the unidentified name of it is, the limited name. We'll go over that a little bit later. Just type some random stuff in here. Same thing for descriptions. We've got the normal description, the unidentified description, the limited description, which will go along with the limited name. We have two ranges. We have an interaction range, which is what the range is for a character to be allowed to do things like pick this item up, or later on we'll go over with containers. It'll allow a player to open and close a container. We have the inspection range, which is what sort of allows you to see the item. If you are beyond that range, that's when you'll see things like the limited name and the limited description. You can also set a different image for the unidentified image if you would wish to, and locked message. Items can be locked. This way a player cannot pick it up. So if you have a token on the scene that you don't want your players to be able to pick up for a certain reason, you can lock it and unlock it. Maybe they need to meet certain criteria before they're allowed to pick it up, but you still want them to be able to see it. Once you have your item configured here, you can open the item sheet. This opens sort of the standard-ish item sheet for a normal item. So if we compare this interactive item sheet to our world item sheet, pretty much the exact same. This is edit mode, so there you go. Yeah, pretty much the exact same. So I tried to mimic as much as I could the actual D&D system in question. Once we have that set up, we have our actor over here that represents our item, and we can simply drag that to the map. We can create as many copies as we want. The tokens are not linked to the item, so if we were to create 20 copies of this on the map, and then we edit this item to a different name or something, then the previous tokens that were added to the map don't update with the new information. But if we were to add a new one, then it will have that new item, or sorry, the new information. We also have, just so that I can show easily what a player sees, we have a toggle over here for enabling and disabling the GM override. So by default, the override is enabled, and that pretty much gives the GM unlimited access to items. If you want to see it how a player is going to view it, then you would disable this. But first we'll go over all of the GM tools that might be relevant. So as a GM, when you have a token on the ground, you have a right-click HUD menu. There are quite a few things that have been added, like an inspect tool, which allows you to open the item sheet and inspect it. We have a pickup tool. This has a lot of functionality to it as well. Right now you can see that I don't actually have a token, a player token controlled. So if I attempt to pick it up, it'll ask you, who should get it. This will give you a list of all of the actors in the scene. Excuse me. And you can choose one there. If there were more than one, you could be able to filter it. If you do have a token controlled, let me see if this person has inventory. They do right now as I was playing around. If you do have a token controlled and try to pick it up, it'll actually just go to the token that you were controlling. We'll go over this too. So as a GM or player, actually, you can go to your inventory and you can drop your inventory onto the ground as well. If we were to lock the item and turn off the GM override, so as a player, if I were to try to pick this up while it's locked, then you'll get this message that it can't be picked up. That message can be configured in the locked message. You can also configure, we've got to turn on the GM override, and then we get all the GM tools. You can also configure that per token via the token HUD's configuration. So if I were to change that message here, then the locked message would be different. You can see as I mouse over this, it shows weapon. I have unidentified as the unidentified name. So if I were to unidentify this item, it now shows unidentified. If I were to inspect it, it shows that it is unidentified. that will also happen for the description as well. Speaking of the interaction range that I had mentioned, so if we view it as a player and we're past our interaction range and we try to inspect it, we can still inspect it because we have the separate inspection range. But if I try to pick it up, then, oh, there's a bug. I think if we do it as a player, let's try that. So if I were actually to do it as a player and try to pick up the item, there we go. You'll get the "you are too far away," so I just need to update my GM override for that. So you'll get that message that you're too far away to interact with it. That message can actually be configured as well in our Pick-Up-Stix configuration. Whoops. Gotta go back to being a GM. We have a bunch of settings here for that. If we're inspecting an item and we keep that sheet open and we move too far away from it beyond the inspection range, it'll actually go away because you sort of can't see it anymore. If we try to inspect it while we're beyond that range, you're going to get the message, that limited message that you might configure. And that should update if I move to within range while that limited message is up, then we will all of a sudden be able to see, what the item is and its description. What else do we have? So we also have, as a GM especially, if you were to drag an item onto a player, it'll ask you if you actually want to move that item to the player, or if you want to give that item to the player, you can deposit it within that player's inventory. And we have that there. I've also added tools as the GM to be able to delete, identify, and lock an item within here. Again, if the item's locked, then it won't be able to be moved around. Those are the basics of creating an item, and I will go over the containers in another tutorial.